Welcome to the Root of It All podcast with Tree, your human behavior expert. Did you ever wonder why you have the behaviors that you have or how to change them? Did you ever wonder about different people in different industries and what made them good at what they do? Well, this is the podcast for you. You're learning all about human behavior from the experts. So cozy up, go for a walk, or go for that drive that you've always wanted to, and get ready to learn. Learn about you, learn about others, because us as humans, we are the funniest creatures on this planet. So let's learn together. All right, so welcome back to another episode of the Root of It All podcast with Tree, and today I have Keyon Silva from FP Fitness, and I'm so excited to have him here. I have tons of questions, and I'm sure you guys are going to have similar questions. So here you're going to find out all the answers. So welcome. Thanks for taking the time.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So FP Fitness, teach me where'd you get the name?
Oh my. Okay, that is
Right
that's a
off with
funny one.
with the fire
Yeah.
questions.
So it stands for full potential.
Mhm.
And during the pandemic, I was watching TV, Dragon Ball Z specifically.
Dragon Ball Z, that's a
And
solid.
at that point in time I was smoking weed to help go to sleep. We're already off to a fantastic start, by the way. Wow.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. Because I didn't really smoke that often for like a very, very long time. And then I'm just like, you know what? There's literally nothing better to do. So I was taking that to like go to sleep. And then there's an anime called Dragon Ball Z. And I don't even know how to explain this without sounding insane, because if you haven't seen the show, then you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Just give us a little bit of a synopsis of what it is.
There are some, or the main characters go to a planet called Namek, and then there's a bunch of green aliens, and then one of the elder aliens.
It's getting better. So this is you're describing this before or after you smoke the pot?
No, this is that I smoked weed 6 years ago, and I came up with that name. And but here's the other thing, right? So they go to this planet, and then green aliens unlock the main, or some of the main characters' full potential, and that's what he says. But
Mhm.
he doesn't actually say that. I thought he said that. So the
Okay.
next, so it was, I was
You
wrong.
imagined the name.
Yeah, so it was me remembering something incorrectly while high, and that's how we got the name.
So you should probably change that story to like it came to you in the middle of the night.
It came to me in a dream. There we go.
That's great.
Yep.
That's awesome. That's one thing that I like. You are so funny. Like so, Keon and I we met in BNI, and you are now the president of BNI.
I
But
am the president of the chapter as of right now, yes.
yeah, and so you are so quick on your feet though. Like make you'll just have these one-liners that just get everybody to be like, "What? Oh my God." It's just so funny.
It's a lot of the time not planned. There's stuff that I actually do have planned. I'm going to use this later, but I don't. I
Okay.
don't want to give away all my secrets just
Yeah,
yet.
you
But
gotta keep
that's
them.
another podcast.
Yeah, Keon secrets. So, what made you want to open up a gym?
That's another long one here. So, for many people, 2009 or 2020, 2020 was a bad year, but for me, it was actually 2019.
Mhm.
And I had a bad breakup, and then I got robbed at gunpoint, and the thief broke my nose with a gun. I made a presentation. I'm not sure if you were around
I
for
was
that
there.
one.
Yeah.
Um, but then, yeah, it was pretty bad, and
Hmm.
I was pretty scarred after that one.
Hmm.
I just left the restaurant industry too, and I was looking for jobs,
Hmm.
and now my face was all messed up,
Hmm.
and I couldn't really go for a job interview. So, um, it was like September of 2019, all that stuff happened. And for
Hmm.
like 3 months straight, I just kind of like let myself go and was eating whatever, because that was the only thing that was bringing comfort at the
Yeah.
time.
Hmm.
And I remember going to a Christmas party. And my buddy blatantly told me, he said, "Dude, you look like shit."
Yeah.
And he was right.
Hmm.
And I was just, a little disappointed in myself for letting it get that far, because usually what I see with my clients is they gain about, 1 pound a month. and then it becomes 12 pounds for the year, and
Mm.
then
Yeah.
20, and then 30, and 5 years later, you gain 60 pounds. That's usually what I see. But for me, I gained like 30 or 40 in like 3 months. That's how bad
Oh,
it
wow.
was. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
very, very quick. And at that point, I was just like, I need to turn my life around. This is really bad. So I decided to go run the around the Bay Marathon. That was my New Year's resolution for 2020.
Hmm.
It was supposed to be at the end of March, but
Oh,
we'll
right.
get we'll get
Yeah,
into
yeah.
that just a second. And then I had a bunch of family that was in insurance, so I was actually certified to sell insurance for a little bit. And then because I got my certifications in the beginning of 2020 as well, I temporarily got a job at another restaurant
Hmm.
which opened March 2nd. We did all the yeah,
A brand new restaurant that opened March
it was
2nd.
Game Time Social.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And we were doing training and stuff beforehand, but then yeah, then the world shut down,
Hmm.
and at that point, I just didn't even know exactly what to do.
Hmm.
So I felt like I was back to square one. I'm like, okay, I'm unemployed. I still have I was still a little bit heartbroken after what happened, and
Hmm.
then a little scarred from the nose injury. And I remember going out for a run because they did allow you to run the Around the Bay marathon just online. You just got to submit your time, and then they sent you a medal. So I was running the Around the Bay marathon, and it was freezing, and the world was in utter chaos,
Yeah.
and everything was pretty much going wrong in my life, except for my health. And I felt pretty good considering the circumstances.
Hmm.
So uh, I was like, hey, maybe there's something to this whole fitness thing because this is the first time I've actually taken it like very seriously.
Hmm.
And then after a while, started making more health and fitness content showing my journey, and people
Like
seemed
online?
interested. Yep. So I started
Okay.
an Instagram and started making more and more videos. People started to get encouraged by it because they were also all locked up.
See, I didn't realize that. I didn't know that you actually started with content because your content is awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
and with everybody, we're gonna put all of the links in the show notes. But yeah, so that's interesting. Okay, so yeah,
Yeah, I
keep going.
started off with content and then I went right into opening a physical location, which was maybe not the best idea. Could
Hmm.
have done a little bit more research because it was definitely not a standard path on how most people would
Hmm.
do it.
Hmm.
Yeah, very different because most people would be working as like a personal trainer in the industry for like, 5, 10 years,
Yeah,
whatever it may
of the
be.
a clientele list or something
Yeah,
like that.
I didn't. I thought if you build it, they will come, which was just a terrible,
Yeah.
terrible idea. And then I had to pretty much backtrack and figure out how to do everything the hard way.
That's actually how really good business owners are raised. We as business owners, you have to make the mistakes in order to actually figure out like your industry and things like that. But hey, you persevered
Yep, I'm still around.
and
Right. It's almost been 5 years now. Almost
that's
at the 5 year
awesome.
mark. Feels like forever ago, but also just yesterday at the same time.
Yeah. Well, the thing I like about how like your gym works is like you're in and out in like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And it's like you're get it done and then you're out.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
a lot of places like you could spend a very long time at like a big box gym, get
Hmm.
lost in the place,
Hmm.
and wait for the machine that you were about to use. Someone else might be using it, so you have to wait for that machine to, be available again. But yeah, for us, it's just straight to the point, and that's what saves people time because a lot of people are business professionals that come to us,
Hmm.
right? And we have to make sure that everything is quick and efficient, right? We don't want to go over schedule or we don't want to go behind schedule. We don't want to
Hmm.
start a session late, that kind of thing. And yeah, it's very, very clockwork.
Hmm. And so people don't know, and so I'm because I know you, like I'm sharing the fun stuff that I love about you. That's awesome. So you also have a band. So how the heck did
Yes.
that like did you start playing when you were young? How did you learn how to play guitar, or like what how teach me about that?
I started playing when I was like 15 because it's funny,
Yeah.
in my like teens and 20s, I was basically known as like a musician,
Mm-hmm.
but then in my 30s, no one has any idea that I'm a musician until like this year or the past year,
Yeah.
because people are very surprised when I tell them. I'm just like, oh man, this is interesting, right? Because
Yeah.
usually people have no idea. But then the people who knew me in the teens and 20s, they're like, you have a gym now? Like, it
Yeah.
kind of came out of nowhere. And yeah, you would have never guessed. I would have never guessed either that in high school or even my 20s, hell, even at 29, if you would have said, yeah, you're going to own a gym, I wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
have believed you. And now look. So
Yeah.
um, just kind of happened that way, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I always knew I wanted to, run my own business, but I never thought it would have been a gym if you would have asked me like 6, 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But then, yeah, getting back to the music thing, I was playing guitar since, yeah, 15 years old. I was doing solo acoustic gigs for years, pretty much during, yeah, all of my 20s, really.
But what made you start it at 15 in the first place?
Oh man, that is a tough one. So I actually started, I think, a little bit before that, probably like, I don't know, 10 or 12, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like it at all.
Mm-hmm.
But then my one friend, he said, "Hey, let's start a band, but you're gonna have to play bass, and you need to learn how to play bass." And I was like, "Okay, I have nothing better to do, right?" Because I thought learning an instrument like bass would be easy, and especially playing in like the school band, because I was in the school band as well, playing trombone and baritone and stuff. I'm like, I hate this instrument. This instrument kind of sucks. No
Mm-hmm.
offense to anyone who plays the trombone and baritone and enjoys it, but I didn't like it.
Yeah.
And that's why I was, swayed to play bass. And then I had, a couple months to learn it. And I remember my buddy gave me a Red Hot Chili Peppers Flea DVD. So Flea is
Yeah, yeah.
the bass player of the Chili Peppers, and he was just like, learn all these techniques, and then you should be good. I'm like, oh, okay, sure. And then I opened up the DVD and played it. I was like, wait a second, this is like really hard. This is gonna take me forever. So I pretty much like isolated myself and practiced for so long because I didn't want to look like an idiot on stage. And then I came back, about a month later. I learned all these things, and he was like, "You actually learned that?" Like, because like they're advanced techniques, especially for the time. Like it was
Yeah.
like slap bass and stuff like that. And he's like, "Okay, awesome, this is great." So, um, yeah. And then after that, we were just playing for a while, and then stopped for university. Stopped playing as much, and his favorite because like I had my own band like where we played like original music,
Mm-hmm.
but everybody just went to university for the most part
Mm-hmm.
afterwards, took a break. But then after that, I was just doing solo acoustic stuff for a while.
And it's so fascinating from like a human behavior perspective. Like here you were, some a friend of yours is just like, oh yeah, here, like learn this, and you actually like took the time to learn it. Like, I forget who I was listening to, but it's like, um, actually like this one of my mentors, Gary Leung, he um he would always say in job interviews, if he's interviewing somebody, he'll ask them, "Hey, do you drive? Like, what kind of car do you drive? And is it standard or automatic?" And if it was a standard vehicle, that would put that person's resume above like even sometimes the academics, because it shows that that person is willing to learn something that they don't have to learn, to persevere, and to actually do something that you don't actually have to do, because that shows something about the person's personality. So for you, you're willing to actually push past threshold to learn something that you didn't actually have to learn. So that actually teaches you to move through frustrated desire alone. And that is the key sign of maturity in all human beings.
Yeah. Funny that you mentioned that. I actually do know how to drive standard, and
So do I.
I actually did
So do
not
I.
want to learn how to drive standard, but my dad forced me.
Yep.
I'm not even sure if they make standard cars
I drive.
anymore.
I still drive a standard.
That the Jeep is standard?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
know that.
Yeah. All my vehicles
Yeah,
have been standard.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Interesting.
I like it because I feel like I have more control over the vehicle. Like in the snow, you can just
Definitely.
gear down instead of like
Yeah. I did not get winter tires the entire time I had my standard
oh
Honda. I should probably not admit that, but
yeah,
it's been a
actually,
while.
well, so I've been asking my husband for at least a year because I needed new tires
Nah,
because I was getting away with it because you're driving standard, right?
yeah,
So I just got the new tires on 2 weeks ago.
nice. Yeah.
Now that now that all the snow's gone, right?
Well, it's actually snowing pretty badly out now, so that winter or those winter tires are going to help out a lot.
They did actually.
Yeah,
I'm driving here. They
yeah.
did. Yeah.
If you're driving standard and you have winter tires, that's maximum control
Yeah.
right there.
So if anyone gets stuck in the snow, just give me a call. I can come get you for sure.
Yeah, but well, yeah, my dad was actually the one who kind of told me to for essentially forced me to drive standard, and it was a good
Good.
lesson to
Hmm.
have. He would drill me on certain things that now in retrospect, because I found them super annoying when I was younger,
Hmm.
but now I'm like, ah, I see why he did that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
That's always the case, right? Growing up, you're like pissed off or frustrated in the moment, but then as you get older, you're like, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But I still don't understand a lot of stuff that, like math stuff that we learned in high school that we don't use at all right
That
now.
stuff's useless. A lot of that stuff we don't need to know. We need like
Yeah.
basic stuff, unless you want to be like a mathematician or it's required for your field, maybe taxes, statistics, that kind of
Hmm.
thing. I think the whole education system needs a full revamp. But
Yeah, for curriculum for sure.
yes.
What did you take in university?
Well, funny enough, business, right? And
Hmm.
then I didn't actually finish the business program. I
Hmm.
graduated with art, so I took like I think up to like year two. So it started off with business
Yeah.
economics, I think it was,
Yeah.
and then didn't really like it at
Hmm.
all. And then I was like, I'm never going to need any of these. And well, they didn't teach me anything to do with business for year one and two because a lot of
Yeah.
it was just like
Accounting.
pointless, like calculus and
Yeah.
math,
Yeah.
statistics. I remember that.
Hmm.
And then I took all electives just to get what was it, Bachelor of Humanities or whatever it was, general studies type thing. And then it was all like film classes or um, video. There was a video game class, right? You didn't play video games. You learned about the history of video games, and those actually helped me out way more than I thought, especially when making content, right? Because they showed you, right? Like you can have the biggest budget for
Hmm.
a movie, but it can still suck,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
And I remember watching movies from the 30s thinking that they're going to be boring, but I'm like, wow, this is like not too bad. This is pretty good. And then yeah, she told you about like what makes a good story, what makes a good hook,
Yeah.
right? How to film things properly,
Yeah.
why things work well, this and then it doesn't with right?
And you do a really good job at like, so you actually utilized all the stuff that you learned there on, yeah,
Pretty much,
yeah.
right?
It's interesting. I didn't know, like, so I actually took 2 years of fashion. So I got my fashion degree, which
Yeah.
in the arts, and I did 1 year of business.
No,
So same thing. I kind of like flip-flopped because I did 1 year of fashion and then 1 year of business, and then I finished off like the fashion.
yeah.
So,
Like I would I would change a couple things like maybe after I was done university, like I could have maybe done something here or there, but I don't know. I guess everything happens for a reason, right?
yeah.
I was kind of I kind of got a little bit lazy sometimes. And I was like, oh man, school is hard. Now I'm going to enter the workforce and then just didn't get I went from like job to job to job and didn't really find anything that I really liked.
But that also gives you a lot of experience. Like, so for example, like um, the skills that I see in you is that you're not afraid of people, right? So all of
No.
the jobs that you had, like you can just jump in, talk to people, like where for a lot of people, they're afraid and because they can't hone that skill, it holds them back from a lot of things that they actually want to do in life.
Yeah.
So what is the what do you feel like you're really good at?
One thing, as you mentioned, public speaking, the things that
Yeah.
a lot of people would not want to do at all,
Mm-hmm.
I do like. Like if I had,
Mm-hmm.
if people were saying like, okay, you have to go talk to this huge group of people, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But then and like to me, I've just like always kind of been like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, well, I mean, it's weird because with music too, like I have no problem doing that now, but there was actually one time, and I don't think I've ever really talked about this. So this is a tree exclusive story.
Well, it's gonna
Um,
be an everyone exclusive. They're gonna hear this later.
yeah. So the first time I actually played acoustic, I think I was like 16 in front of an audience,
Mm-hmm.
and I was trying to like memorize this one song. It was "I'm Yours" by Jason Mraz, if you know that song.
I'm
Uh,
bad with names. I'm sure I've heard it before, but
you've definitely heard
yeah.
it before. Um, and I just bombed. Like I bombed. But I'd played bass live,
Mm-hmm.
with the band, but like singing and playing the very first time, I bombed. And then I probably didn't sing and play for a while until like university.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized, wait, nothing really bad happened when I completely bombed.
Well,
No one seemed to really care that much. And then,
but you might
yeah,
think that you bombed, but other people might have thought it was
I
okay.
stopped the song probably like right after the first verse because I forgot the lyrics. And I'm
Yeah.
like, crap. Right? Now I know the show must go on. Like that wouldn't happen again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I completely screwed that first one up. And then after that, I realized, like I mentioned, nothing really bad happened.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna let that happen again. And I didn't. Now it's been like 20 years.
Well, and it's funny too when something like happens or we think like, oh, I bombed that or I didn't do this or I didn't do that. Where it's not like you're gonna walk down the street and somebody's gonna be like, hey, that's that guy that only that forgot the words.
No.
Like that will never happen. But
Yeah.
sometimes we think that in our head, but it'll never happen.
Yeah, a lot of people don't care.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let me rephrase that. Pretty much no one cares at all except for you, right?
That's
And
right.
you could say something and make a mistake, and you can be in front of a whole crowd and be like, and then some people will be like, oh my God, I just said,
Yeah.
and I seem like such an idiot. Everyone thinks I'm an idiot. It's like, no, they don't.
Well,
They just
and
want to continue this meet. They want you to keep talking to you. We can end this meeting.
well, but you do a great job, even if you mess something up. Like you, again, the show must go on, and you just make it into a joke or keep going so that you're bringing people to the next experience,
Yeah.
right? So that's also a skill that,
And that stupid script keeps changing. That B&I script, I manually change it, and then someone, I swear they're messing with me or something. It's like
it's because you're squeaking the chicken.
probably.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think I've probably made some enemies, right?
So
No one seems to really care as much.
well, so people that are listening that don't know anything about BNI, so being the president, you have that you're reading this script all the time. And also too, like each person in BNI, you have 30 or 45 seconds to do like your elevator pitch.
Mm.
And so Keon, he has this like rubber chicken that he'll squeeze if you go over time. So that's what we're talking about with the rubber chicken.
It's my personal pet peeve, and I know it bothers a lot of people too.
Yeah.
And I get it if you make a mistake here and there,
Hmm.
but no one is immune to the ravages of time. So if it's 45 seconds, then that's it. And then I increased the punishment because before there was no punishment. Now there is a punishment,
Yeah.
and a lot of people do not care. I have people emailing me, being like, "Yep, that's fine. Sure, let me know." Like, okay. So, um, and then they actually the higher ups don't name drop just in case it might get them
Hmm.
in trouble somehow. But the higher ups, they said it was okay, and I'm like, okay, that is
Yeah.
perfect.
So again, what we're
Fine.
taught. So what's the penalty? So people like if you go over time,
If you go over twice,
twice, yeah.
you lose your pitch for the next one,
Okay.
right? And then it resets again.
Okay. I forgot about. I remember you
Yeah.
saying that, but I totally forgot. It's okay. I'm not normally over time, so
No,
and
no, no. And that's, you know, so some people just do it by accident,
oh,
right?
for sure.
But then we don't want it to be like where everyone is just dragging on like an extra 15 to 20 seconds, because if everyone's doing that, we're going to be like
Yeah.
10 minutes over time. And it's like, I'm
And
nope,
again, for
nope, nope.
people for people listening, if you do know BNI, you know exactly what we're talking about. But if you're not in BNI, that means like we have 42 people, and if everyone goes over time, just imagine like
Yeah.
that.
Well,
Yeah.
this is with any networking group,
Hmm.
it's applicable, right? If
Yeah.
someone says, all right, you have 1 minute to talk, and there's 40 people in the room. Hell, it doesn't even matter. Let's just say 10 to
Yeah.
50. Doesn't really matter the people in the room. But, right off the bat, if you can't follow those instructions, what does that say about you? Some people be like, oh, whatever, maybe they're just a little nervous. But then other people might think, and this isn't necessarily me, but they're like, oh, well, I don't really want to do business with someone who just rambled on for like 3 minutes. Like, oh, I want to leave this thing. Time is money, right? So some
Mhm.
people will
Yeah,
not
that's
care.
true.
Other people will totally care and be like, no, I
Yeah.
don't want to deal with this person, right? So
Yeah.
everyone's different. And then everything in between,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it, I know it drives people nuts. It
Hmm.
drives me nuts, and then I can totally see it, and you can kind of even like feel it in the room where people are just looking like this and then checking the watch. I'm like, okay, that's why we got to nip this one in the bud. But getting back to that B9 script, like I know someone is changing it, or it's like it's driving me nuts. So every week, it's always something slightly different. I'm
Hmm.
like, this is being messed with for sure. For sure. And I can't prove who's doing it, but I
You'll
know.
be in a dark office in a basement, just like
Yeah.
because every BNI president would get like it would be different. But let's
Yeah.
let's keep let's move on. So let me ask you, what is Keon's favorite thing to do? Like what brings you the most joy in your life?
Favorite thing to do. Wow, that oh man, that is that's a good question. I have
Yeah.
to think about that one. It really kind of like depends
Hmm.
on a couple things, right? And a lot of the time it's just like hanging out with friends,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Doing stuff with friends.
Yeah, because you have
That
some
is it.
really good friends,
Very
right?
good.
Yeah.
Very, very good
Yeah.
friends. And yeah, pretty much anything with them. Golf. I'm a big nerd, so video games and Magic the Gathering, if you know what that is. It's a little card game. Poker is also a card game. I'm sure people have heard of that one. But
So,
yeah. Okay.
sorry to interrupt you. I want to stay on this theme of friends because um, nowadays a lot of people I don't want to blame COVID, but a lot of people staying inside
Hmm.
um, just from a nervous system perspective that they just feel safer, or they got so used to doing things online or just some patterns that they created throughout COVID and they kept them where our natural state of as being humans is we're meant to go out and socialize. So teach people a little bit about how it is that like the main sort of themes about having like a good friend, being a good friend, and what it means to be a good friend, like or maybe what it means to you specifically.
Well, I call my friends. That I think that's one
Yeah.
big thing that a lot of people don't really do. I'm not a texter. I'm really not.
Yeah.
I like to call people, right? And I could call any of my friends and they would probably pick up, and then we would talk for like 30 minutes to an hour.
Mhm.
This is a great thing for friends, for
Mhm.
productivity, sometimes not the best, but uh,
But that's what creates the deeper bond. Is it we grow strong friendships, and it grows over time because you spent the time together,
yeah,
because you're having constant proof of trust, constant proof of the tone with the person. You're laughing at the same things, and so
yeah,
you're not in your head. Where now, if people don't have that constant proof of connection and laughter or whatever, however the relationship is, then they're not creating the connections that they need. So, and specifically for men, because I think there's more men that are out there that are lonely
mhm.
than women.
Oh yeah. And I've heard studies where biologically men have a harder time dealing with loneliness, but
Yep.
I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this,
Yeah.
right? But it's something I've heard. But I would like to see some studies on that myself.
Hmm.
I just heard it on a podcast.
Hmm.
But yeah, I think, even just calling your friends, because I have friends who are girls, I have friends who are guys,
Mhm.
and just being like, hey, how are you?
Yeah,
Is-
yeah,
right? When was the last time people have done that, right?
yeah.
It's kind of baffling to me how some people don't do that, but I've
Mhm.
just kind of always done that. Like, for example, like I'm gonna show
But
this.
I
Let's
agree.
see.
Calling,
Um,
getting the person's vibration, right? Even if a client of mine sent me a big long email, I will just call them.
yeah, let's see where this one was.
Like I'd never um answer the big long email. So people that are listening, Keon
Yeah,
is showing me something on his phone.
an hour and 30 minutes
It's,
talking to my buddy, right? Right, and this was like
You
Monday.
know PK?
Yeah.
PK Subban?
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Good friend of mine.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it was just we were just talking. I was just kind of like washing the dishes, getting ready for bed, had my AirPods in, and we were just talking.
Yeah.
It was been like a week or something like that, or
But
probably not
but
even
it's so
that.
good that and I encourage all of you to model Kehan. Like literally call your friends.
Yeah, I
Mm.
or just message them and say, what's going on? What are you doing? I do
Mhm.
stuff. And for me, now this isn't always true, but
Mhm.
I'm the person who will be like, "Hey, let's do this. What are you doing?"
Okay.
Right?
That was gonna
Right?
be my next question. Are you the guy in your friend group that organizes everything to get everybody to get together?
Me and Paul, the
Yeah.
one guy
PK Subban.
yeah.
Yeah, me and PK.
So pretty much him and I. There's maybe a couple others here and there,
Yeah.
but I remember my mom, she said one day, she's like, don't you get tired of like organizing this? I'm like, if I don't organize it, we're just not going to
Yeah.
do anything, right?
Yeah.
So,
I'm the same. I'm the same one. I'm the organizer for
yeah.
all my friends, but I always end up getting us in some sort of shenanigans. Like I'll a couple of funny stories, and you'll appreciate this. So like I met this random girl somewhere, and she sells high-end secondhand clothing,
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, hey, all right, I'll bring some girlfriends over, we'll come over. And so like I get this address and I load up my girlfriends in my Jeep and we end up like driving down this like dark street. There was a bum with a cart, like with all of his belongings crossing the road, and all my girlfriends were like, where are we going?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know, this is the address. So I pull into the driveway, there's no lights on in the house. And and my friends are like, "Are you sure?" Like then
Yeah.
I'm like, "You guys stay here. I'll go check it out." Right? And so I knock on the door, and I'm kind of like, I don't know this too, right? But no, all of a sudden the light turns on. There's the girl, and it was a blast. It was a complete
No.
blast. And just one more funny story, and you'll probably like. So I used to make my own wine, and a friend of mine owned like a wine store.
Yeah.
And so we're there, and there's this other woman also bottling her wine, and we're chatting or whatever. And she's like, "Oh, I'm having a sex toy party on the weekend. Do you want to come?" And I'm like, "Sure." So I got
Yeah.
all my friends, and even like my friend's mom came. It was so hilarious. But to my credit, you don't know anyone, so you don't have to be shy to buy anything because nobody knows you,
That's a good point.
right?
Right.
So genius, right?
Oh
Genius.
yeah. No, I've
Yeah.
been to similar parties
Sex
like
toy
that,
parties.
right? It was a Christmas one actually, where it was like, supposed to be the most provocative, ridiculous gifts you could possibly get.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
with a budget of $50.
But I think people need to be more open about like just experiencing things, like whatever it is, right? Like axe throwing, escape rooms, like
Sex toy parties.
sex toy
Yeah.
parties. Like every twice a year I take my team out and I always give them a different experience. So one time it was like the float tanks. Have you ever tried that?
Yeah, I've
The
tried
the deprivation,
yeah, the sensory deprivation stuff. Yeah.
yeah, with like the Epsom salt and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I initially for like the first 20 minutes did not like it at all, but then for that last hour I was like,
Yeah. Yeah,
this
yeah, you
is
gotta,
this
for
is
me, it's like
great.
the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You're just kind of like, do I gotta pick up milk in the fridge? Or do I like what I, and then it's just like, you're just out.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people actually use my hypnosis audio programs when they go into like
Mhm.
the floats and stuff, which is fun. But yeah, last time we did something, I had I don't know, he's like a little bit of an energy healer, and he used like the tuning forks. Have you ever heard about those? It's like a metal fork,
Yeah.
and you tap it on the ground and it vibrates, and then they put it on your spine, and it like uh
Interesting.
yeah, it's very cool. I'll send you the
Yeah,
numbers.
because I know what a tuning fork is, right? But I've never, I think I've heard of like tuning fork therapy, but maybe I'm mixing some stuff up.
I could be having the wrong name for the tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, but yeah, I think it's important that everybody experiences different things.
Mhm.
That's one thing about your social media stuff because you're giving people an experience. Like every time you post something, you're so creative in like all the stuff that you put, and you're funny.
So those
Like,
videos, I will just full disclosure, a lot of them are not my ideas because what you need to do to get
oh,
like the
really?
numbers up, like
Oh,
they're copies of other videos, right?
oh,
But
see, I
some
see.
of them are mine, right?
Okay.
And it is all over the place what works and what does not work, right? And I see what works and there's trends, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that's trending. And you know, one thing that is mine is when I talk about like my knee, stuff like that,
Yeah.
stuff that is about me specifically.
Yeah.
It's not copied, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then there's some like funny ones where I think they're funny and they just perform terribly. So it's it's
That's
hit and
like the
miss.
stand-up comedians that like nobody they say the joke, they pause, nobody laughs.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
it's a mishmash of all sorts of stuff that's trending
Hmm.
and I see it all over the place, right? And sometimes you come up with like an original twist on it. So it'll be like one idea and then you make an iteration of it.
Hmm.
Some of them I try not to do like blatant copies, but they perform the best. And it's like it's because you want to test it out because this whole year is actually just like a tester phase. Like I'm going to be posting every day. And so far, I posted every day on multiple
Hmm.
platforms
Yep.
and just want to see what works and then make iterations of the stuff that does work. And then once you see what works, you have a very good frame of what actually works. Then you can go like that original route w using the data that you've
Hmm.
collected, right? And they don't make me money at all. Like
No,
it is just for
I was
fun
gonna
because
ask you that. Yeah.
I personally find them funny. That is it.
Okay.
So there's some that, like I mentioned, that I make that I think that are hilarious, do not perform well. But then there's ones I'm like, oh, this would be a funny video, or just to put like our own twist on it too. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah. So it's just all over the place. I would say it's kind of split 33% just blatant
Mm-hmm.
copies, 33% reiterations,
Mm-hmm.
33% me talking about stuff like originally, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of all over the place right now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
But it's interesting because just observing you, like you're very what we call auditory. Like you communicate very well from an auditory nature. Like you're well spoken. You can articulate words and ideas. Where that's a skill. Most auditory people, they can be like that. And then second, you're visual because I see you like looking up for certain things for information to give you auditory cues. So you need to see what it is that you want to talk about, and then you talk about it. Where a lot more people, that's not a lot of people have that combination in that order. So I think that also helps you when you're doing the content as well.
Okay, well, thank you. Because, yeah, I think, when it comes to content, it depends what you want to do with the content. And I've learned this because I had a video go viral
Hmm.
multiple times on multiple different platforms because I wanted to test it out, see what would happen again.
Hmm.
And it caused way more problems than it did
Oh,
because that's why I had to change the spelling of my name and everything
oh,
because people
something
just
went viral and then,
people just tried to hack me all the time
oh,
because I'm the only Keyon VJ singer in the world. So very easy to find if you just type my name properly. But
yeah.
then I changed it and then changed the email, everything. So
Hmm.
I was like, wait a second, I need to be properly set up first. So now security measures have been put in place
Yeah.
so that nothing crazy happens. Two-factor authentication has been put in place, that kind of
Yeah.
thing.
I got to get better at that too.
It's
Yeah.
very important, and it's only going to get worse moving forward, right? And there's a lot of like AI content out there that's just going to start taking over. I've seen AI fitness influencers that are blatantly fake, but then I look at the comments and I check the people out. I'm like, these are real people thinking that this is real. This is like really troubling.
Yeah.
And it's not just, boomers or anything. It
Yeah.
is everyone.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, what? Like, how can you
It it's
not tell
scary.
this is fake,
Yeah.
right?
My husband and
Yeah.
I were talking about that last night. Like he's like, babe, like this is scary. And there's some great things about AI. Like even for my book, like I'm putting an ad out and I had my team member that does all the social media, and I asked her to do, it's actually a newspaper, Burlington Post is coming back, people. So, um, but to do a little newspaper ad, and she literally took a real picture of me, and she told AI to take this real picture and to have me reading my own book. And I'm
Yeah.
like looking at it, I'm like, that's me, but it's not me. Like it's,
Yeah.
and then my assistant was kind of like, oh, you have real pictures, don't use AI. But then I was kind of like, well, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, so it's I'm kind of on the fence because it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. You can do a lot with it, but it's not like, you know. So
Just like with the internet, you can use it for good, but people found many ways to use it for bad.
yeah.
And with AI, what I think is going to most likely happen is they're going to ban forms of it.
Mm,
Like you can't use it to impersonate someone, or catfishing, if you will, on the
yeah, yeah.
internet, or
Yep.
can't use it to impersonate like politicians, that kind of thing, because
Yeah.
that can end very badly, very quickly.
Yep.
And already we're seeing it with, like the verified check mark on Instagram.
Hmm.
You will most likely need to set up a verified account and then show that this is a verified non-AI post. And
Mm-hmm.
if you are caught using AI, then you can get banned
Mm.
for content like that because it can get out of hand very quickly, just like how we're already seeing it,
Yeah.
where people are buying products from AI influencers who don't exist.
Mm.
And
Yeah. Or putting their even my husband's dad's partner, she refuses to buy anything online anymore. So if she wants anything, she'll like take a picture of what she wants and then she'll like send it to me. Can you get me this? Because she knows like I'll look into it or I'll check it out or whatever. So
most sites, when it comes to buying things online, are pretty
mm,
safe. Like Amazon, as of right now, it's
yeah.
pretty good,
Yeah.
right? If you are using Amazon Prime, you will most likely get the item delivered in a timely manner that's
Okay.
real.
So funny story. So, as you all know, like I teach hypnosis and NLP, and we have different books that we want all of our students to read. If they're taking this course, these are the books for this course. These are the books for this course. There's one book, it's called Heart of the Mind, and it's an NLP book. And every student that is bought in the book receives something different. And it's hilarious because everyone, one person got a drill, one person got like a toolkit, one person, but not the book. So we're trying to figure out how to get our students the book, but it's almost comical now because every student is like they got a book or a pair of shoes or like it's never even this not even the same thing that people are getting. It's something
What?
different
Okay,
all the
so
time.
they're trying to order a book online, but they just keep getting random items?
Yes. Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah, it's like it's like what is happening? Like so and then we're also trying to see if we can get the book from somewhere else, but we haven't been able to find it. So anyways, but it is funny. So okay. So rapid fire questions. Ready?
Okay,
Okay. Uh grilled cheese or peanut butter and jam sandwich.
grilled cheese,
Okay. Um romance or action movies.
action.
Yeah.
Well, prefer action movie.
What kind of questions is that?
Yeah,
Okay. Oh, country or rock music?
rock. I
Rock?
do like country, but rock.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay. Um, would you, if you were to date a girl, would you prefer to do something like physical, like go for a walk or do a romantic dinner?
oof, probably both, right? I would
Both?
go
Okay.
for a dinner, then go for a walk right after.
Okay. Logical. Yeah. Walk off the dinner.
Yep.
Um, would you prefer a beach vacation vacation or a European walking around exploring vacation?
Ooh, probably European.
European?
Probably European vacation.
Okay.
Yeah, because beach stuff is good for like a bit,
Yeah.
but then I kind of get bored, and it's usually an all-inclusive,
Mm-hmm.
right? If it was like a Thai trip or a Thailand trip where you're going on a beach, or like a Bali trip where there's beaches, then that over the European trip.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's like an all-inclusive for a week, well, it depends who you're going with. It
Yeah.
really, really depends who you're going with, right?
Okay.
Because it could
So,
get if it's all-inclusive beach
mhm.
versus European trip, European trip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. A sport car or like a kick-ass SUV, like a ball.
Probably an SUV, to be
Yeah.
honest, right?
Yeah.
So I can carry my band equipment around
So,
easily.
yeah. So
Yeah.
you're more like logical, like in your
I'm
choices.
not a huge car guy, right?
No?
One of the last purchases I would ever make if I had a ton of money
Mm-hmm.
would be a fancy car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My husband makes fun of me because I could probably, like, he's in the race car industry, so he
Yeah.
could probably get me like whatever car I wanted. But I just love the Jeep.
Yeah, like
So-
try riding your Ferrari mother like this right now. It's just not very practical,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like if
No.
we're in Canada, if this was like, California, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe my answer would be different. But right now, an SUV with winter tires,
Winter-
standard, right? Then that would be, yeah, SUV.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so what would you like, is there something else that you want to share with people? Like, is there things that you want people to know about your business or maybe about you or?
Well, let's see. We've been around for almost 5 years now. There's a couple things that I want to do, but I don't want to spoil things just yet. But I got some big plans coming in, I would say within a year.
Cool.
It does involve like an FP Fitness themed Willy Wonka suit, right?
Maybe we'll have to have you back on the podcast. Now I'm curious.
I will wear the suit when it is made. I just have to figure out how to make it. It's probably you have to contact like cosplayers because they would probably be able to make it better, I think.
Wow.
Like, where would I get a top hat? Like, you probably could get a top hat on Amazon Prime.
Probably.
Like, maybe one of your students would randomly get
Yeah,
a
yeah.
top hat instead of a book,
If
right?
they do, I will send it your way.
Thank you. Thank you. And then what else? Yeah, I think that's pretty much. I don't want to go into too much details about because it's a surprise.
It's okay.
That's a
Well, we'll have
surprise.
you back so that you can share it all, but we'll definitely have all of your links, links to the website, links where people can get a hold of you or follow you or anything like that.
Right.
But yeah, I appreciate, you're such a fun guy. I always
Okay.
like, yeah, like if you guys ever have a chance, go check out the gym, go, stay healthy, but yeah, if you get a
Yeah.
chance,
If
like,
you need help losing weight, building muscle, or sticking to a schedule, we can help.
awesome.
Well,
Awesome.
thank you very much for having me, Tree.
Oh,
Man.
pleasure's all mine. It's
Yeah.
always a fun time.
All right.
And thanks for listening to another great episode of the Root of It All podcast with Tree. So if you want to check us out on Instagram or Facebook, you can go to Business Growth Results on either of those platforms, or you can even go to businessgrowthresults.com if you have a suggested topic or theme, or you want to get a free hypnosis download. So we'll talk to you soon. Till next time, see you later.